Do any of you want to become salon owners? How many of you? One day you might own one? Really? Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a lot. That's actually, and do you think about, do you see it happening? Like, do you know what you would call your salon? What would you call it? Don't be, no, it's okay. That's what.
I want a huge salon.
Bigger than How many people?
25.
Yeah, okay. That's 25.
I want more than 2 salons.
That's 25 headaches, okay. That's 25 headaches a day. That's ambitious.
She's been a manager before, though.
And what would you call it?
My salon?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not yet, but I'm thinking big.
Yeah, okay. Do you know, any of you know what would you call it?
I have no idea.
I don't know what I would call my salon,
Yeah.
but I seriously, especially since I've been in school and because my mom's a cosmetologist, I've been around it my whole life too.
You've always known, yeah. There's probably stuff that you know already that you just saw, right,
Yeah.
when you were a kid.
She threw a name out at us before.
That was
the
a
best
joke.
little hair house in town.
That was a joke, though. I would not do that.
I would.
Totally go
that
there.
one's great. What was you? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I'm curious. Some of the names.
I would call
Come on
mine
in.
the Amazing Salon because you have the best hairstylists. Like, and they're all professionals at what they do. So
The Amazing Salon.
Yeah.
Like the Amazing Race. Yep. But a bunch of people raised their hands. Do you want to open a salon too?
I want to do a lot of schooling before that.
Oh,
but
great. Yeah.
In the long run.
Do you how big a salon do you picture?
I'm from a small town, so I'm not.
What small town?
Rifle.
Rifle. Yeah. Okay. It's not that small.
It's not that small.
Was there 20,000 people there? Yeah, there's a lot of potential there.
There's also a lot of salons there already.
Right.
Yeah. All on the same street.
Okay. So you know where not to put yours. So that's what leaves every room the whole rest of town could be yours. If they're all down in one place.
Maybe, yeah.
They're near the Winchester. They're kind of right in that area.
Railroad.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're all on that. Okay. I wasn't aware of. And there's a tanning salon on there. And yeah, so she's got tanning covered. I don't think that I don't believe that there's always room for. There's room for everyone.
Yeah, I think.
You know how many salons there are in Aspen?
Mm-hmm.
29.
Seriously?
Wow.
That's amazing.
Look in the phone book. I counted them. It's 29 hair salons. Not in the phone book for the whole area. That's just Aspen. If you go through looking for the ones that say Aspen next to the phone number, 29 hair salons.
Oh my gosh.
Are any of you going to open a salon right out of school? No. But you can see it. Some of you can see it already. What I would encourage is for you to think of a name. There's a basic in goal setting that the more specific your goal is, the more likely you are to achieve it. So there's one thing to say, like, I want to have a house in Hawaii one day, but it's an entirely different thing to say that I want a 2,000 square foot beachfront property on the North Shore of Maui. See what I mean? It's a different.
She's been there a few times.
So the point is, that's an exorbitant.
That's exactly what I want.
Which part of the beach would you prefer?
Well, like Kanapali.
Okay,
You know.
around the Kanapali coast,
Yeah.
and like on the water, or like.
Well, not quite on the water.
Would you want it to have
Within
like
walking distance,
rental?
across the street from the water.
Like would you want it to be your own place or your rental?
We'd like to have it our own place.
She's thought about this. I can.
Maybe rent
she's-
it out in the wintertime and come here for the.
So she's much more likely to have this happen than I would, because she's way more clear about it. I just think I'd kind of like to have a house in Hawaii one day. She knows
Definitely.
where, when,
And what she's gonna do with it.
probably and how it's going to be decorated.
Looking for
So-
a partner.
It's fantastic. So it puts a big exclamation point on my point, which is that.
I know.
So any of you who are thinking about having a salon, the more specific you are about it, the more likely that it's going to happen. And you know, we do. Well, when I used to visit salons and stuff, we used to do. Before I started doing hair, when we would visit salons, we'd go through goal exercises and so forth. And so you know, if we wanted to just focus on that for a while, like, I might have you like you know, each of you who are thinking about a salon, like how many, you know, go through this. That's why I started asking questions, because the salon, you know, owning a salon is kind of, okay, that's a goal, but like how big and how many stylists and so on and so forth. I'll just share it with you a little bit. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I happen to know a lot about opening salons, and when we were advising people who might want to start a salon, there's kind of a funny breakdown in how it works for hiring, for how big the salon is. And what we found was that the amount of money in your pocket at the end of the year, depending on whether you had 4 to 6 stylists, 8 to 10 stylists, 12 to 15 stylists, it almost, in most cases, in 9 out of 10 cases, no matter whether it was those breakdowns, like 4 to 6 stylists, 6 to 8, the salon owner made the same amount of money. The difference was the guy who had 15, 17 hairstylists just had, you know, he just had more ulcers and less sleep. Because it exponentially, you know what it's like with how many of you are in here, 15 or whatever, going all day long, right? It doesn't change. It doesn't magically change in any other environment. These dynamics set up, right? And it's typically mostly women, right? And so this is a very good example of what you could expect in a salon with 17 or 18. I started in one that had 19 stylists, and you know, we used to roll into a bar after work, and they called us the Zoo Crew. I mean, think about if you guys all, right? Because the energy, like what we do all day is not like people who sit in cubicles, like we're, right? Dynamic characters all day long, and it just develops over time. You know, you think you guys are crazy now. You're just getting started. You guys will foster and mature as crazy people, and really be something to write home about one day. You know. Anyways, your dream of 25 chair
Well, not
salon.
in one salon, maybe like 2 different salons.
The reason I mention it is because you would think like, well, I add more stylists, it's more money. The numbers become bigger, right? But the expense of running a 25, it all exponentially increases. You can see how, right? And at one time, Kaleidoscope, I'll just refer to my family's business often because it's where I got a lot of what I understand. At one time, Kaleidoscope was thinking of opening salons, and I was going to kind of head that up because I had been doing hair for a while at the time, and I've still lived back in New England. And we were talking about 5 chair salons as like optimum, like, and so and you were thinking a little bit smaller as far as owning a salon goes. I would say even if you're from a town like Silt or Rifle that already has a few salons, but what they're doing shouldn't have any, you know. So are any